Hi guys. So this broadcast is going to be on what is sexy and how to be sexy. Now, when I first started making videos and putting out content, it's under the banner of the Carnal Conservative, and I chose that title because I want to make conservatism and traditional values carnally appealing. And there's good reason to do that. When you make good things attractive and people want these good things and they strive for these good things, the results in their lives are going to invariably be positive in nature. So we're going to take not just what I talk about today and put it in a box and shove it away. I'm hoping to take this particular episode and hopefully be able to repackage it in further future episodes and future issues down the line. And with that, here we go. Now, this first section is going to be defining what sexy is to and for women, because it's different between the two sexes, obviously. That is, it should be a biological imperative that it would be different for both sexes respectively, especially when you consider how much miscommunication there is between the two. This should not be a mystery. The fact that the two sexes view things differently and that there's a lot of miscommunication between the two is not controversial. So we're going to spend this first little section, I'm not going to spend too much time on it, on what is sexy to and for women. Of course, this is for women to men, so this is advice that would be relevant to women to attract a male in particular, a manly man, in the hopes thereof. So what is sexiness for women? And it's very simple for women. It's not that difficult whatsoever. Most women know this, at least on a very basic and instinctive level, as do men for their part, but we'll get to that later. The sexiness for women is not difficult to achieve in two parts. The first part is confidence, which is honestly the hardest part, is viewing yourself as sexually appealing and then leaning upon that appeal and that allure. That's the first part. And the second is, and this is the part that most women skimp out on, it's enthusiasm. It's choosing to embrace that sexuality, choosing to put it forward, is what is most attractive to the male creature, is having the confidence to be a sexual creature and then to openly broadcast it. It is truly that simple. It is the enthusiasm to not just wear the slinky dress, but to rub it against the man next to you that is really going to seal the deal for him, because men are, I'm not going to say basic, but they are not basic or simple. We are programmed to react a certain way. Now, I do need to make a distinction. Sexiness is not necessarily attractiveness. I know that that's a strange disclaimer to put out, but a woman can be very, very sexy and at the same time very, very off-putting, depending on what the male in question that you are pursuing wants at that particular moment. Whether he wants a one-night stand, sure, he's going to run for that shit. He's going to run for it. He's going to do his best to seal the deal and have at you, because that is what sexiness promotes. However, if he's looking for something more long-term, something a little more lengthy, he's going to kind of, put you off at arm's length and say, slow down, honey. That's going to be his instinctive response. Nevertheless, and notwithstanding, for those women who do have or might have issue embracing what sexiness might mean for them, it's those simple two parts. It is your confidence in being a sexual creature and your enthusiasm, your action with which you act upon bringing that to the fore. And that's pretty much it from women to men. On to the next section. And this next part is a huge, huge pain in the ass, because I'm a man and I remember very, very vividly struggling with this concept of what sexiness is for a man and how to use that sexiness to your advantage, and how it can be advantageous for you and not advantageous, and how it works for those who are not good for women, and how to make it work for you as a good man. That's the dilemma most men have with sexiness, because it is far more arduous to achieve. It's not a natural state for men to be quote unquote sexy. But it also requires merely two parts. And it's the same part for women in the first section. It requires confidence. It requires your ability to acknowledge that you want sex, that you are going to put that to the fore, that you are a sexual being in some respect, and in a respect that you are wishing to project. However, the second part is not enthusiasm. I know, that sucks. You are the most enthusiastic partner in the sex dynamic, but the enthusiasm is not going to work for you. Enthusiasm is not enough for a man to be sexy. The second part for men is not enthusiasm, it's power. Men to be sexy require confidence and power. And picking up power can be very uncomfortable. So we're going to break power down into 3 different categories, because not all power is the same, not all power is available to all men, and some power is something you have to grow into, so to speak. But there are 3 kinds of power that are relevant to being confident and sexy for men. They are charisma, your resources, and your strength. Now, let's be very, very blunt here. Men who focus on any of these 3 areas of power will instinctively become confident in their acquisition of that power. It's a self-feeding loop. The more power you take for yourself, the more confident you are that you have it. So really focusing on improving your charisma, your resources, and your strength are the best things as a man that you can do internally. So to exude sexiness as a man, you need to look inward and say, what do I need to improve, or where am I lacking? I remember a very poignant point in my life where I wasn't going anywhere, I wasn't going on any dates, I was not satisfied with where I was, and I really looked inward and I said, well, what do I need? And I just needed money. It was that simple. I just needed to get a job that was steady, a field that I could grow in and make a living with. And almost overnight, within a week, I was certified in the profession that I'm doing now, and I am married, I have a wife, I have children. That moment changed everything for me. And I wish it had happened sooner in my life. But to really emphasize how these 3 kinds of power work with one another, improving your strength will automatically improve as much charisma as you could get from what is genetically given to you, your genetic presets. Anything that you do improving your own natural strength as a man will automatically take care of the charisma area in things that you have no control over. If you go to the gym and you work out and you lose weight and you hit that area in which your body is going to say, okay, this is your status, this is where you're at. That part of your charisma and as part of your power is going to be taken care of. So you can focus on other things. Instead of having to worry about, am I overweight, am I attractive physically, don't worry about being physically attractive so much as improving your strength and your charisma and The charisma area of that will take care of itself. When I talk about charisma, I'm talking about being able to talk to women, being able to crack a joke, being able to have that kind of self-assurance in what you want and who you are. Look, in the dating pool, in the social areas of society, we have a wonderful dynamic. And you have an opportunity as a man trying to exude traditional values. You are a rare bird. You are not common. You are not the you're not the run-of-the-mill guy. You're not going to be the one-night stand. You're not going to be the guy that she wants to take home and forget about, because women do this, of course. You're going to be the guy who sticks out like a sore thumb, if you're actually true to who you are. Let's be honest. And my number one advice that I would have for men who want to improve their charisma, who are, leaning towards the trad side of life, who are, waking up, getting red-pilled, honestly, hand to God, the best thing you could do for yourself is to take everything that you have in the keyboard and take it with you to the bar stool. I shit you not, because that would set you apart. If you took everything that you had at the keyboard and took it to the bar stool and compare yourself to every other jackass on that bar stool line, let me explain something. Exuding that confidence and that power means being unique, being something she hasn't heard. You are going to hear nowadays 1,000 times over things like, I'm an empowered woman, I do what I want. You can be the asshole who says, nah, I want to keep my wife at home, or something along those lines. She'll give you a glassy stare, while the rest of the guys are like, nah, man, more power to you. But as long as you stick out, as long as you're the one putting that forward, and as long as you're the one being confident in that declaration and in that desire, you're going to have more power than the rest of the cucks in the room. So honestly, in terms of charisma, the number one tip I can actually give is to take all that you do in front of the keyboard and take it to the fucking bar stool. It will work. Now, as far as resources go, that's on an individual basis. And I'm sorry that I have to put it that way, but find something you're good at and stick with it. And a job is a job. It's called a job for a reason. You do it to make money. And as long as you are improving, it doesn't matter. I'll be perfectly honest. The marketplace is so full of lazy shits. All you have to do is do your job and do it well, and you'll get promotions, you'll get raises, not a problem. And if every industry has the problem of being bottom heavy on entry level, and people just keep cycling in and out. Every industry has that. Just be the asshole who is 1 step, 2 step, 3 steps above that, and you will be in management and you'll be making good money in no time flat. Honestly, and hand to God, as soon as you take that power, your confidence will naturally grow because you know that you have it. And kicker, women find that to be insanely sexy. Now, I know that's not what you see on television. I know that's not what you're being told on the radio, but I'm telling you, it works. I'm telling you that when it comes to what sexy is for men to project appropriately to women in a workable fashion, this is what will work. This is what sexiness means to women. This is what they find attractive. And all you need to know is that if you work on those 3 things, your charisma, your resources, and your own individual strength, you will naturally gain confidence when you are actively picking up and taking the power that you know you need to take. And that's the best thing about it, is you get to take it. And guys, that's where I'm going to leave off. Just know that you have that sexiness for men is confidence plus power, and it's well within your grasp, gentlemen. As always, stay carnal and get that girl. Remember, drop the keyboard and take it to the bar stool. Hand to God, it works.